All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Microphone over here. Make sure that I am good. I know this is so unexpected. I usually do not go live on a Sunday, but I am so behind in my orders that I was like, you're going to go live so that you can get focused and do what you got to do. So I am DJ. If you are joining me on my channel for the first time, this is called, my channel is called Over Here We Craft for Money. I do love crafting even when I'm not making any money, but because I have a small business, I do look at crafting from the lens of how to make it what I love to do profitable for me. So that's where the name kind of came from. And looks like we've got some folks in the room. So good morning, good Sunday morning, good Sunday morning. If you are comfortable and don't mind, let me know in the chat who's here. I've got my coffee, as I put on the page post. This is crafting, which we're going to do right here. And conversation. I'm going to be talking. Hopefully you will be talking back. And obviously some coffee, because I do love me a good cup. So in the cup this morning, I don't know if y'all can see my cute little sprinkles. I do not want to mess up. See my little cute pink sprinkles. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm getting a message. I'm so sorry about that. Oh my goodness. Anyway, in the cup, I have French vanilla caramel. It's a K-cup. And then I love Aldi's. I don't know if y'all love Aldi's, but I love Aldi's. And they had a red velvet whipped cream that they brought out seasonally this year. And some red sprinkles, because we are past Halloween and now we are getting into the fall season, and we are not going to skip over Thanksgiving like the rest of the world. We're going to give Thanksgiving some time. Not today, but in some future videos. So anywho, what are we working on today on this great Sunday morning? First of all, in my small business, it's called Finer Deals. I'm a licensed vendor for my sorority, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. And this is induction season for us. So I told you guys in a few past videos that pillows are a huge seller for me in my business, not only on Etsy, but at the conferences that I go to and through my customers. So some people wanted to kind of know how I package my pillows, how do I make them so that they become profitable for me. And so a little bit about that's what we're going to be doing today. The other thing that people ask me about is like cost-effective packaging, because they were using places like Vistaprint and things like that. And those things become very expensive. And so I was telling people, I love using the postcards method. These are just blank index cards that I get from Walmart for like 98 cents. And it is allowing me to customize and make them say whatever I want them to say. So I change these up. I usually on a Sunday evening will do all my print batch work. So from my stickers that go on my packaging to my index cards. In this case, because I am trying to grow this YouTube channel, I made my index cards to talk about the fact that I launched, I think it's right here. Yeah, that's right. I launched a YouTube channel. So I'm thanking them for my purchase, but please, follow me on YouTube and help me grow my YouTube channel. So that's what's going to be going in here now off screen. And I'm going to tilt it so you can see. So another piece of the product I'm going to be using today are these plastic, nice size cellophane bags. I get these off of Amazon. The link should be in the bio of my main page, but that's how I package my pillows and keep them individually packaged and protected. And it also makes them ready for gift giving, which is another reason why I think my pillows are so successful, because when you pick them up and you pick them out, you're handing it to the person ready to go gift giving. So far, as you can tell, we're going to put the pillows in there. We're going to put the card that thanks them, but also has a QR code so they can follow me on here on YouTube. The bag that I'm going to package them in, and you'll see in a moment, they have a tearaway sticker. Excuse me, that's the heat press, because we have to actually make 6 pillows today. These 11 are already made. Yeah, the press automatically does that to let me know it's ready. So then the other question people had for me was, where do I get my inserts from? Because they've been running around, or they're trying to get them on Amazon, and it's super expensive on Amazon. So I'm going to tilt the camera up here so you can see the box for a second. Oops. So this is what I get. I get a very big box of cushions from Walmart. I find that they fit the pillowcases are 15 by 15. I get an insert that is 16 by 16. I go slightly bigger. 18 by 18 is too big. And if you go into Walmart to buy these, it's usually inside of the sew section. But they only come 2 to a pack. And 2 to a pack is like $10. Well, I'm about to make 17 pillows today. So I'm not going to run around to all these Walmarts trying to find, try to find inserts, when I can just purchase the case, and I get 25 in a case for like $73. So to me, this is absolutely great. And it lets me have a very polished product to send to my customers. So that's what we're going to first do, is stuff these pillows, because I got to get this order together to go to the shipping team that I use. Let's move you back over. All right. And then we'll get to printing. So the first thing I got to do is I'm going to open up my cushion, and just so you can see it, it's Crafter's Choice is what it's called. Crafter's Choice is the pillow brand, and you can see it's 16 inches. So and I keep a little trash bag underneath there. I like these because they're hypoallergenic. They have their own little zipper here, so folks can unstuff them, wash this, and start all over again. I can, Miss Miller. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming in and hanging this morning. I love it. I love it. And so what I do is I fold the pillow in half, and I stick the first half in and through, and it's sublimated on this pillow. So I don't have to worry about smudging or anything coming off. And all I do is fold the bottom half till I get the cushion in. And hold on, I want to actually try to raise you up just a little bit more so you could actually see. So as I said, it fits inside so perfectly. All I then have to do is zip. Each corner goes in. All I have to do is zip, and my pillow is ready to be stuffed. I take my pretty plastic bag. Hello, Milani. Hello. So my sister and my beautiful niece, they are both in the chat hanging out with me this morning. And she's letting me know in the chat Milani is waving. So then I take the postcard, right? It's so bright in here, y'all. Hold on, let's see. I'm getting a glare, so I know if I'm getting a glare, you probably getting it. I don't know if that helped. Oh, that might be better. It made me a little darker, but that's okay. Turn that way. I don't see if that helps. Okay, so then I take the postcard. I put the postcard in here. tear off the self stick that it has, I usually will give it a good little push down, fold it back over, and pillow number one is ready to go. So the good thing about the way I make the pillows, and if you are a pillow maker, these products are awesome for you. The cushion holds up. It can get smashed, smushed, and it's just going to spring back into its regular form. The design is sublimation. So the hardest part is making your design and then putting a way that they can contact you to order more. Your postcard could say whatever you want your postcard to say. Mine just happens to tell them, hey, come join me on YouTube. But yours may say, hey, you want to order a bulk? I'll give you a discount. So be creative with your insert, but think of your insert in your product as this is your last chance. If they never come back to your Etsy shop or they never come back to your table, you want them to have a way to get in contact with you. So don't miss the chance to market, especially if you're on Etsy, because Etsy won't give you their email address. And you can only communicate to them through Etsy. And the whole goal, hopefully, if you have an Etsy shop, is not only to sell and make money, but you want to build a client base so that if you ever want to leave off Etsy or you ever get kicked off of Etsy, because that happens to some people, sometimes, and it's not even their own fault, you lose every way to contact those people. And you never want that as a business person. So basically, as you can see, that was pillow number one. And then I have the shipping box that I'm just going to drop these in to hold them for today's purposes. But I think because the kind of car I have, this big box of 11 pillows is not going to fit through the doorway of my car. So I am going to have to transport them in bags to the shipping company. But for today, we're going to knock out these. The heat press is ready. And our second project is going to be the Zeta bundles. So a little bit about that if you are just joining this and you don't know what I'm talking about from Zeta bundles. A couple of weeks ago, I did a coffee day, right? It was a Saturday. I was getting ready for a big event that was going to be happening. And I was making all sorts of paraphernalia for my small business as a Zeta. They gave me the opportunity to craft. To vend. I was going to get the opportunity to vend at this event. So I was making t-shirts. We made some gift bags. I was doing a fundraiser for them. And that was going to be an awesome opportunity for me to make some additional money. And I'm sharing this experience with you guys because I want to always be transparent on my channel. And I know sometimes before I started my channel and I would be watching YouTube, it seemed like everything that somebody was talking about or showing just always seemed to work out awesome, perfect, never ran into any issues. And I don't know about you guys, but I done been through some things in life, and I know that everything does not always work out. And so I think it's very important to be honest, because I think there's just as much value learnings in a success as there are in a failure, if that's what we want to call it, right? Or basically when things don't go the way we plan. And so I'm going to tell y'all about the event, because even though it turned out okay, it absolutely didn't meet the expectations that I had, and it didn't meet all the work that I put into it. So anyway, I'm on there. I made t-shirts because what my business does is t-shirts, tumblers, coffee mugs. I do a lot of etched glass work, a lot of custom things with sororities. If you're not familiar, a lot of times we want our names on stuff, or we want our chapter names on stuff. And so customizing the products that I make, has done me well. But I also need to have standard items that anybody could walk up and buy, because if all I ever sell is custom items, then that's a delay in my money, right? Because what if they don't want to wait? So for example, I don't know, I think you can see back in that corner, there's a t-shirt that has the sorority's 5 founders on it. So sometimes I make sublimation t-shirts with standard things that would resonate with the members. So I made t-shirts, I made sweatshirts. We know the election is coming up. It is on Tuesday. Shameless plug. If you have not voted already, please go and vote. I'm not going to tell y'all who to vote for. I know who I'm voting for, or who I have voted for already, because I went for early voting already. But it's so important that you let your voice be heard. So I also made a Zeta shirt that said Zeta Women Vote. Now, we don't have elections every day. We don't even have them every year. So I bring that up to say when you make an item that has anything to do with voting, it's time stamped, right? It's only good for that period of time. And yeah, in 4 years, people will be coming back to buy something else. But right now, what you spend your money on to make, it's like I would have to wait 4 years to make money from those shirts if I don't sell them. So I knew that that was going to be a very popular item. So I made those, y'all. I made tumblers. I made cups, sweatshirts. So I even made some of the notebooks. Remember the notebooks we were doing a couple of months ago before school started? I made some customized notebooks, y'all. So when I tell you I was up, not just that Saturday we all worked, y'all came and worked with me, but I was up like every night when I got off my day job making items because I wanted to make sure that I had a nice variety of items for my customers to choose from. Y'all, when I got to that event, I had my tablecloth. I had made me a custom little tablecloth situation, everything. When I got there, first of all, it was raining. Now, granted, the venue was on the inside, but I mean, I don't know about you, but if you get dressed up for something, and if you're watching this on replay, or you can let me know in the chat, if you get dressed up for something, the last thing that you want when you get to the event is to be wet when you get out your car, right? Now, if you get wet and then you get inside, are you in the best headspace or are you probably a little irritated? I'm going to be honest and tell you, I'll probably be a little irritated because I don't want to be wet or whatever. So I felt like, okay, it's raining. They're going to be coming in with an attitude. I'm going to be so sad about this. But I still was like, it's okay. I'm going to unload the car and it's all going to be okay. Y'all, I get inside and everything was still being set up. That happens at events, right? When you're a vendor, you usually are expected to be there before it's showtime. So that didn't really bother me. And it's my sorority sisters. I didn't know everybody, but I knew the one mainly organizing it. And I said, how can I help? And where am I going to be? Now, granted, when it's the person who's organizing it, that's a very stressful day for them. And I'm trying to be understanding of that too. So I was looking for like, well, who else can I speak to so that I can get myself set up? Because, if people come in and they want to start purchasing, they're not going to know, oh, they didn't tell her where to set up in time. I'm going to look unprofessional or unprepared. So it's affecting, oh, thank you. Yeah, these are super popular. They love these pillows. They really are keepsake and commemorative. So they do really well for me. You need to you have that beautiful one for Milani. I hope she's still loving on it. Anyway, so I was worried about what that was going to look like, that my table wasn't set up and prepared to start selling. And so I, asked somebody else, like, well, where can I set up? Only to find out that the space, they got more attendees that purchased tickets at the last minute than they were expecting. So the venue was not large to begin with, but where I was going to be able to set up my table to show all the stuff that I made, there was no space for me to do that now because they needed that section that was going to be for me. They needed that for another table or two of guests who had paid to sit. When I tell y'all, I was so disappointed because now that meant all that work and all the stuff that I had made. I'm stuck with it right now. I do volume on my store, but not everything that I've made. Some stuff was new. I wasn't going to launch it just yet because I didn't feel like I was just quite ready, but it happened, right? So what am I going to do? Get mad and take my marbles and go home? No, that's not professional. So I couldn't do that. So I did, fortunately enough, because we were doing that fundraiser for the event itself. I smartly made extra shirts of the fundraiser shirt that everyone had already pre-ordered. Because remember, we made the bags. If you were on that video with me, we made bags for me to put all of their orders in by chapter. So I made extra shirts, and I'm really glad I did, because that's what I was able to sell on site at the actual event, so that it wasn't a complete financial, dead end for me. However, now I had all these shirts and cups and things that I had made, and I'm not scheduled to do any pop-up shops or conferences until sometime next year. I think in May, because I try to do one Zeta conference a year, and it's usually my state conference. They are coming out so good. See, when you have pre-prepped everything, they actually are really easy to put together. That's why I love these cushions, and I love a good sublimation item, because you really can package really quickly. So now I come back home, and I made some money from, like I said, the fundraiser shirt, thank goodness. But when you sleep deprived, you done stayed up, you done made stuff. I'm like, no, I am not gonna wait until May to sell my items, no matter how beautiful they are. Like, I make this stuff because I want this coin now. Like, I craft for fun, but I prefer to craft for money, right? So I came up with this idea, and I talked to y'all about this before. But I share it again because sometimes as a small business owner, it's not always going to work out the way you plan. And everything that you put into it is not always going to come into the fruition of it all. And you got to pivot. You got to be ready to say, okay, it didn't work out here. What am I going to do? Well, I could have let Soares know, hey, I got items, in my car, if anyone is interested. But I have to think about my brand. I don't want my brand to be, for me, I want my brand to be the look matches the quality of what I sell. If I spend my time making this beautiful satin pillow that is a beautiful keepsake that they're going to love forever and ever, I'm not going to sell them this pillow out the back of my car. I'm just not going to do that. So what I did was, and I'm going to show you all that in a minute. I have 3 more pillowcases to stuff. And then I'm going to show you what I did with the items that I bought up extra and that I made, because we now have a wonderful bundle sale going on my website, and it is doing so good. And so I want to show y'all that, because I want you to know that everything you do is not for nothing. And sometimes you think you're doing it for a particular reason or a particular event, and that doesn't go the way you plan. And then he has something better for you. And I think that's the other reason why I did this coffee and conversations on Sunday, because I'm thankful. So I'm thankful that he gave me another way to be successful with something, and I didn't even see it coming. And I'm not trying to push religion on anyone. I can't make nobody believe the way I believe, but I am a believer, and I feel like my God don't play about me, and he stay looking out for me. And so, okay, we are down to our last 2 pillows. No, yeah, after this one I'm doing now. So, Luanza, did you have coffee this morning? Curious. Or did you do your smoothie jam? What did you do this morning? Now, you might have to position the pillow and kind of flatten the cushion from bending it up. But again, as you can see, make sure your hands are clean, though, because while the ink is not going to rub off, oils from your hand can get on your pillow. And in my case, because they're white, I need them to stay as crisp and clean as they can be. Let's see. Oh, you're having Jamaica Me Happy coffee. I love Jamaica Me Happy. It has a nice little floral note and a nice little nutty little note behind that too. Oh, they had a variety. Oh, yeah. I love that kind. And you're drinking out of your dad's cup. I love that. I do love that. Yes, yes, yes. Did brother have to work today? All right, second to last pillow. Second to last pillow done. This first order for my sorority sister will be ready to go. And then the good thing is the box that the pillows are stored in before I make them. Now I'll be able to break this big old box down because I have made more than half of the cushions in there. Oh, he's watching with me. Hello, brother. Do you drink, brother? Do you drink coffee? I don't even know if I know that about you. Y'all been married so long. I should know that, shouldn't I? All right. So last one. And then I'm gonna show you the bundle that I came up with. Now I do still have to make the shoe bag for the bundle, but we could do that here. And I can show you all how I make those. Because satin shoe bags are also something that you can make. Just because I do this for Zeta doesn't mean you can't make pillows for other organizations. You guys know the other night we made the horror pillow for my sister. I don't know if you saw that video yet, Lawanza Miller, but I made a video of me making your scary movie pillow that you said you liked that I made for myself. So I made one for you. And as if anything with Halloween, I was a crazy pumpkin, and in my costume anyway. And the vinyl was acting up like a Halloween prank would. So I'm gonna have to call you on FaceTime and let you choose which one you want me to send you. One looked like it has cooties, which seemed like appropriate for Halloween, but the other one was the first one I showed you. So I want you to take whichever one you feel most comfortable with. All right, so pillows are done. That is my first project on this Work With Me video. I'm so grateful. That was fast and easy. So we got our good coffee. Now look, now the pillows want to slide out the box because of the slippery. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to raise up this camera so that we can see it a little bit. You'll be able to see the table. Okay, so now I'm going to go get the bundles that I came up with. So I can show y'all. All right. So we know we were making this t-shirt. I made like, oh my gosh, y'all, so many of these in t-shirt form, sweatshirt form, and long sleeve. These are short sleeves. I ordered a whole bunch of my Zeta socks from a vendor that I do business with. I also ordered some Zeta umbrellas. Now, sometimes the things that I order, vendors already make for me, right? They make them overseas, and as a licensed vendor, I can purchase them and I can sell them. So this is not something that I had to spend time making, but these were things that I purchased well more than I would normally do. So that was me spending money expecting that I was going to make some money from it. And that's not what happened. So I had these. I also purchased extras of these. I'm going to slide that so you can see it. These are car medallions that some new Zetas sometimes put. I mean, I can't say new Zetas because I got one on my car and I've been in Zeta over 30 years. But I bought a lot of these because sometimes when newer people are coming in, they're looking for stuff. Now, I already had some of these, but I bought more. My shoe bags, I did a video very early on my YouTube channel showing you guys my shoe bags. That's what I have to make today in today's video to finish these bundle orders that came in. But I usually customize the names right here. So I had these. And then these I already had in stock from the summer. Wait, there's the camera right there. I am awful with showing y'all. Okay. So now these are all these items plus more. Like But I decided I'm going to take all of these and I'm going to put them into a bundle together. And this bundle is going to become what I put together and sell. So today, what we making, and I put out on social media, we have a lot of private groups. The bundle includes a cup. The bundle includes a pair of the socks. They can choose either black or blue. Most have chosen blue. That's what we'll be making today. The cup and the socks fit together here. The medallion also fits inside the cup. So it's 3 of the things. The umbrella, right? And then their t-shirt. So I took the liberty of going ahead and pre-pressing the t-shirts because I had some. Yeah, all put together. Now, what makes it so fire? And that's what we're going to make today. I'm going to make the satin shoe bag, but everything is going to fit inside of the shoe bag. And then I'm going to put them in a certain plastic and zip tie them so that people will now be able to present the gifts to the new Zetas in one package. And I bundled this all together for $60. So while it's a great deal for them, it's also a great deal for me because every time I sell one, this is $60 that I'm selling and my profit margin is pretty lovely. So what we need to do now is we've got to make the names that need to go on 4 bags because that's what is due this week. So I am making based on what is due this week because they have certain dates that they need this stuff by. So I'm not going to overload myself today. We're going to do it based on the 4 orders that I have to ship out in the morning because y'all don't want to be here while I got to make a bunch of these. But 4 is a safe enough time. So what I'm going to do now, I think is easiest is if I pull up my screen and you can tell me in a moment if you're going to be able to see the screen. And we're going to move over into Cricut Design Space so I can design the project. So I think I go here. And I think I do new project. Oh, wait. No, that's not what I need to do. Hold on. There's a way for me to tell it to open up a new window. There it is. In a second, I'm going to open up the screen and share the screen with you all so you can see what I'm working on that screen too. All right, so I think what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to come on main screen first. Yeah, it is that, and that has been working so nicely. So I think I need to do it this way. No. Hold on, I got to get the view right. Bear with me. I think I'm supposed to do present. I think that's it. Present, share screen. Okay. All right, so now it's wanting to get my tabs. Okay, bear with me. I've never done it this way before. And I want to share this screen. And then I'm going to share. You see a split screen. So do you see a screen that has like letters that look split? Like the S? Do you see the screen with the S on it? You can let me know. Fantastic. Then that's exactly what I was supposed to do. Okay. And I actually prefer if I could have done this. So you can see that bigger. Okay. So now we're going to be doing, it's not a new project. It's a project that I've already done. So I think it is over here. My stuff. If you've never worked in Cricut, this is Cricut Design Space. And this is a video I was working on last night. I'll be back with that little split bow t-shirt situation that's going on. I'm really excited about that, and I'm going to be making some for me and my family. Yes, my mom, brother, sister, and little mini me. So, okay, we're going to come up in here, and I'm going to I already have my design saved in the system. So when you have a design that you worked on and you saved it, you can come over here to customize, and it's going to bring back up whatever it was that you were working on. Okay, that's great that you see the 3 screens that work. So whenever you come into Cricut Design Space, it always comes in at 100% is the view, and then sometimes you may not see what you were working on if you had to make the screen really small. So this is kind of how the names look on the bags based on based on the length of their names. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to duplicate this so that I have to make 4 of them. So I might as well make 4 copies now, and then I'll just move these off to the side. So what I can do is they're separated, but then they're also kind of together. So I'm going to test with this first one, and I'm going to separate it and come to the end, put a space there. And the first name that I want to test and see how long it is, because when we deal with the shoe bag, and you guys can see that on this screen here, there's only so much space that you have to customize the name. I'm going to move the rest so you can really see. So the length of the bag is 11 inches across. So it's going to arc around this bubble here. So you got to make sure that the size of the name does not exceed that. So the first name, and hopefully she's not watching this video because she's going to see her name and she's going to know she's getting a gift. But what are the odds? The chances of that are kind of slim. So now remember, I said 11, right? And it's a little bit over 11 if I go with this one. So I'm going to also change the second one. And we are going to check the sizing there. Also got to check my name there. Oh, that is not how she spell it. It's an A right there. Okay. So if I go with her name alone, that's going to not look as nice. It's going to be right on the edge of this if I arc it. But I like it as one word better. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the second one. And we're just going to go with the first name made like this. Oh, and actually I got really lucky because it tells me that it's 11, like 10-5. So I should be fine. So that's the first one. The second one has 3 names on it, and so I'm going to do this one the way we were going to do that first one, because this is T. Moore. And then I need to get rid of the L because that just looks crazy. And so now what I'm doing is customizing the names that are going to go on the bag. Now, the one thing about Cricut is once you have curved something, it will give you a little bit of a hard time. So I want to fix that arc on that curve. But I want it to have the curve. I don't know if I like how that look, y'all. I don't know if I like that. That look a little weird. This is something when you're customizing, you kind of got to play with. I do like that a little bit better. So I'm going to get rid of that one. And then I'm going to come back and check my size on this. Cricut is acting slow this morning. Come on now. Don't do that. Ugh. It is acting up. It does look better, right? I think it does too. It's giving me a hard time. It doesn't want to, it's stalling because it won't let me click on it. Don't do this, Cricket. We got to make too many more. All right. She is slowly thinking about it. So I'm gonna try to reset it by clicking that I need a new text box and see if that clicks it in. So when you see the little green part going, it should be coming in, and it's not. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm so sorry. Sometimes Cricut can be a little temperamental, but it should have been letting me click on my next name, and it's not letting me do that. Even if I come over here to the other one. Oh, there. Okay. Maybe she stopped thinking because it's back. Or not. Like, what is going on? It really is not letting me do it. That's crazy. It won't let me. Cricut is stalling. All right. I'm going to save it because I think I'm going to have to log it out and come back in. And I don't want to lose the work we just did. Cricut is acting up. I wonder if it's because I still got this other screen open. You about right. I think you're right. It does need some Jamaica Me Happy to do the right thing. You are so right, because it is acting not the way I told it to. All right. I done gave it a break. And I think it didn't even, I'm going to close it out and I'm going to try to open it again. I swear though, if I have to do that again, I'm going to be so mad. All right. So first things first, because this happens. And why wouldn't it happen while I'm trying to do a live? Why wouldn't it? That just makes sense, right? That's what it would do. But I'm going to close out all the screens on Cricut and then I'm going to start again and see if that opens up and let me do it. All right, it's opening now. Give me a second to share the screen again. Once it opens itself up properly. All right, we're going to tell it. Hopefully it's saved. It seems like it's working okay. Okay, it's saved. So let me get it back up on the screen. And then I'm going to share the screen again. Let me do present. Share the screen. And we are going to do Cricut Design Space and share. All right, give me one. I hope so. I hope so. Well, I told it to show you and it didn't. So what happened? Share the screen. Share the right window, please. Okay. See, and then it did also try to add that text box that I told it to do a minute ago. So let's get rid of that because we don't need the text box. We were just trying to make it work. All right, we got the first one. Maybe that was it. I had too many screens open. Cricut can be real temperamental. Now, remember, I said this maximum, now that we're back, could only be 11. So I've got to unlock this and I've got to change this sizing because that other one was a 10.5. And so I need that to be a 10.5. And then I'm going to go ahead and lock it because now I know 10.5 will fit. And then I don't have to worry about that. All right. So I'm good over there. And then I got the third person's name to do. I think I'm going to run into the same problem with that over here. So we're going to go ahead and add the second person, which is S. Johnson. And normally I don't let them put the initials. I probably should have specified that, but when you customize, then you do what people ask you for. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of this one. Now, this is an extremely long name. Y'all see that? I think this is why Cricut keep getting mad is when I take that name away. It don't like when I do that. So that is still 16, but I think I'm going to have to take the initial off and they'll just have to be okay because that extra space is making it really weird. And this is kind of that thing. You let customers customize, but if it's going to make your product not look like it needs to look, you sometimes got to make that call. I don't know if anybody ever used to watch Project Runway, but you have to make sure customers know that this is still your stuff, that's going to be out here in there for the world to see. And it's still got to have your name on it. So I don't want to make something that's not going to look as nice. And I'm not liking how that looks much bigger. So I'm going to delete that one and I'm going to duplicate this one and do that. All right. So now I'm going to fix this one and say more, and I'm going to just make the decision not to see. And now that size looks more like the first one because 3 of these are going to the same person for the gift that she's going to be giving out. And I don't want it to look weird and one looks good and one doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one because that seems to be the one giving me the most problems. I got one more that we need to cut. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that one. And then we're going to change that last name over here. The last name for this one is McCray. And now everything is under the size we need and everything is ready to print. So I usually will change the color because it's just hard for me to see in black. You can make it whatever color you want, just so I can able to see it when it gets on the mat. I'm going to resave this one and I'm going to save it as, I usually try to do it as the orders. So I'm going to say, this is the bundle template, bundle, shoe bag template. All right. And then I'm going to save that so that as more bundle orders come in, I'm going to be ready to make the rest of them. Now I need to tell the mat to make it. So we're going to make them all the same colors so they cut on one mat. Cricut is going to take me to the second mat screen. And if you're wondering, I have an Air Explorer 2. I don't have the maker, but I've had this one for a long time, at least 4 years, and it still works. It's amazing. I just replaced my blades as I'm supposed to. Now, I'm glad this happened on the screen. You see how it jumped to 2 mats? Because I changed it to a 12 by 12 mat, which is the smaller one. But you don't have to leave it that way. You can click on the second mat, click on these 3 dots, and you can say move the object or hide it. I'm going to move it. Then Cricut is going to give me an option. Where do you want? You want to create a new mat or you want to put it on the one that you were already working on? I'm going to tell it to put all 4 of them together. Why? Because I don't want to waste my vinyl and have different mats. So when it brings it in, it usually brings it into the top. And all I do is come down and size them up so that they're not overlapping. Let's make it a little bigger so you can see. I size them up so that they can all cut on the same mat together. So as long as none of the vinyl letters are touching one another, not only am I going to be able to cut more than one on the same mat, I'm also going to save money because now I'm going to have space at the bottom of the mat that I can use for scraps. So I'm going to slide out so you can see. If I go back to 75%, see all of this vinyl will be left over. And then it lets me look to make sure like this A and the N are not connected. The S and the E are not touching. And Cricut will always give you the red lines around this. So you'll know that you're okay here. As long as you don't try to go past the red lines, you should be fine. Now, because this is going on a heat press item, this shoe bag, I have to mirror it. So to do that, you're gonna, and mirror it means just reverse the way that the machine is gonna cut it. And you always need to mirror when you're doing heat transfer vinyl. So if I click off of that black box so you can see, you see now it looks backwards to us. But when we flip it and lay it down on the mat, it's going to look in the right direction. So I'm going to go ahead and prep my mat. So I keep them hanging up right over here. And normally I would use a regular mat, but I haven't cleaned my mats in a while. So I'm going to use a strong grip mat for this project. But normally I would be using a standard grip mat, which is the green one. I love that about Cricut mats. They tell you the colors, and that's how you can keep track. And I got these mats from Temu, and you guys know I love a good Temu. I just recently did a Temu haul of craft supplies that I'm doing a review on, and I'll be sharing that shortly. All right, so this is strong grip purple, and I need my white permanent heat transfer vinyl. I mean, when you use heat transfer vinyl, there's a shiny side. If you can see a shiny, like the glare, and then there's a flat side. Because we are mirroring it, you always put the flat side facing you. So on this mat, I'm going to turn it to the side, and I'm going to lay down the vinyl. And the mat is sticky. Actually, it's a slight crooked on that side, so I'm going to do the bottom. I can normally cut it to mat. So you just line it up on your mat. It has the markers like a ruler, and then you roll it out. Now, like I told you, because I haven't cleaned the mats in a while, because there's this solution you can buy from the Dollar Tree that'll make them sticky again. I haven't done that in a while. So I'm going to save this mat and use it by using some heat transfer tape. You could also use painter's tape to tape it back down on the edges so that the Cricut machine doesn't pull up the mat and tear your vinyl. Now, we know that this cut is not going to come all the way down to the bottom, and I want to make sure I save my extra vinyl and not waste my good money. So if I look at my Cricut screen, it looks like the words are going to stop around 9 inches down. So I'm going to take my sticky tape and I'm going to tape from 10 inches down. And that's going to keep my keep my paper from rolling up. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So now, even though this part is kind of hanging out here at the end, it's not going to get in the machine because the machine is only going to cut at this section right here. So I'm going to send this mat to cut. The Cricut machine is over here. I don't think you guys care about seeing the Cricut machine do the cut. So I'm going to just put it in, but then I'll show you guys on the screen what we do. All right. So now we're going to tell it to cut. And these are the settings that I use. And everybody's machine is different. I mean, it cuts a standard, but you want to make sure you calibrate your machine and that it's working. So you're going to see up here at the top, it is trying to find my machine. The machine is on. So it's located my machine. And some people have multiple Cricut machines. So if you did, there would usually be a drop-down box there and you'd have to find yours. So this is considered, the vinyl we're using, heat transfer, standard heat transfer vinyl, is considered everyday iron-on. No matter if you get the Cricut brand, it doesn't matter if you get Caesar or even something from Amazon, it's considered everyday iron-on. And the other thing I'll point out here before I tell it to cut, because this screen is going to go away, is Cricut will let you bookmark some of your more popular materials that you use on a regular basis. So that's what you see here, the things that I use a lot of. But if what I was looking for wasn't there, that's what this title here, Browse All Materials, you could click on that. And then this is going to show you all the different materials that you can cut with Cricut. Now, every machine can't do everything. Like if I were going to try to cut wood, there's a certain kind of wood that I would have to use, but it lets me know what's here. What I would do if I were you, if you're not sure what your machine can cut, I would make sure I click, instead of what I bookmark, click compatible, and it's going to let you only see what your machine is capable of cutting. This way you don't break your blade. This way, you know, you don't damage your machine and now it's out of warranty and you can't do anything with it, right? So we know that we're going to use everyday vinyl, but I think that was important because you could be someone new to Cricut, and I would hate for you to ruin, you know, a machine that cost you hundreds of dollars to make. Now, because it's just cutting regular vinyl, I'm going to leave my pressure on default, and it's reminding me, hey, you mirrored this design, so make sure shiny side is facing down. Remember, flat side facing you. So I'm not going to change my default, but if I was cutting for like one of my rhinestone templates, I probably would put more pressure. So I'm going to leave this at default. We've already told me my blade is already there, but this is one thing that a lot of people don't know about. So this is called Press Go, and it's for fast mode. If I wanted the machine to whip through cutting my letters pretty quickly, which I do, I'm going to tell it to fast cut. Fast cut is going to cut down the time that it takes for the Cricut machine to cut. So once you click that on, it lets you know, click the go button, which is the little blinking button on your machine. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it to do that. And now that machine is cutting. And while that is doing that, I got to get, oops. Yeah, there it goes. All right, so it's going like crazy cutting. So the next thing I got to get ready is my weeding tool because we're doing vinyl and you have to weed vinyl. But so far, so good. We are knocking out these projects. So we're going to have 4 that we have to do. And I don't think that I want to put these through the heat press because it'll change the color of the thing. So I think I'm going to do easy press for this one just because, hey, Donzel, you made it home from work. Welcome. We did pillows. If you're just joining us, we did pillows today. We did 11 of them. And now we're doing the bundles. And I think I'm going to try to do the side bow t-shirt thingy, but we'll see. So the machine is cutting real good right now. And the heat press is ready. But I do think I'm going to do the easy press for these bags because I don't want it to burn the satin. So while that's cutting, go get you guys some more of your coffee. I'm going to go grab the easy press from the other room, and I'll be right back. I had my easy press in the other room because I was watching some television last night while I was working on another order. I told y'all I'm so far behind. It's ridiculous how behind I am in my orders. But today is the day I'm not going to sleep until I get all this stuff finished. So I'm going to move this box to the side and plug up this easy press in this corner over here. And we're going to get the easy press turned on. I'll move this for a second and show y'all that. All right. So now that we've done we can stop sharing that screen because it's just cutting and y'all don't care about that. That's not critical. All right. So now we've done the Cricut step. You're not late. You're right on time. How was work? All right. So we're going to turn on the easy press. And I'll be honest with you guys, this is just the easy press regular. When I first got into crafting and Cricuting, this is what I got. I never went and got the easy press 2 or the upscaled ones or whatever. And now it works for me. So we got to set the temperature. So you click the temp button and then that makes it start blinking. And oops, let's do it again. So I'm going to do this so we can see how high it goes. I think the easy press 2 goes much higher. I think this one, 360. And I think the easy press 2 handheld one goes to 400. But we don't need it to be that hot. I'm just going to take mine down to 325. And we never need to press more than a whole bunch of times, but I'm going to put it on 40 seconds for now. And then I'm going to go ahead and click the button. And now we're going to let this get up to temperature. The mat is done. So great. Slide that right on out. So we're going to slide this back while that heats up nice and nice. And then we're going to sit here. Now, remember, I told y'all I don't have the maker. So it don't have that little chamber that holds the thing. But I want to make sure that I don't waste any good vinyl. So to prevent waste, my little cutter here. Whoa. I think we flipped the fuse, y'all. We got too much going on. Somebody got mad. Let's see. Oh. Uh-oh. Y'all, I'm not kidding. I think we flipped the fuse. And I think when I go flip this circuit, just so y'all know, I think when I flip this circuit, I think it's going to take us off the line because I don't know which one to click. So I'm prefacing this now. If this live, I'm going to end it and I'm going to come back because I feel like if I flip switches, I don't know which one is going to do. And I think it's going to mess us up here, okay? So I hugely apologize. But I do live in an apartment, and I guess I was overloading these circuits, honey, and they was not ready. So I'm going to end this, flip the circuits back on, and then I'll come back live, okay? Sorry, y'all, but this is real life happening right in the moment. It's what happened. I'll be back.